Alright, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I kind of want to disprove some myths or a lot of questions I get asked by my clients, like when it comes to taking off wrap, because a lot of people believe that it's going to leave glue behind or it's just going to damage the paint. And in this video, I kind of want to prove that, and the contrary to that, wrap actually helps prevent a lot of the scratches and like keeps the paint secure. So I'm going to be highlighting some areas where because I use this truck pretty much every day for work. And there's a couple of spots where obviously I damaged the wrap, and that's the whole reason I want to replace it and put a new wrap on it. I'll probably have the stock color for a little while until like maybe a week or two when the new wrap comes in. Pretty much on a very windy day, the gate we have on the ranch swung open, and you can kind of see the damage of the gate swinging open. Also, we do a lot of highway driving. You can barely see the rock chip that got this part. Other than that, the front end is still kind of very good. There's not much rock chips, but the wrap helps out a lot with a lot of the damage that comes with a lot of highway driving. Because of my tires being so wide, obviously it kicks up a lot of dirt, grime, rocks and all that. But this is a damage that I pretty much caused like a couple of weeks ago because of my boots. When I'm climbing in and out of my vehicle, obviously I would accidentally like put my boot up against this, and so this isn't a problem of the installer. This is more like my fault because obviously I leaned my boot up against it too often and it ended up just tearing it. If it was a bad install, obviously the whole side would be coming off, but this is pretty much goes to show how difficult it is to take off wrap, because a lot of people think it will fall off very easily. But yeah, this is damage, and that's what I also want to replace. As you can see, this is other damages that happened a lot, because when I would ask people to hitch up the trailer, they would just let the tailgate drop, and as soon as the tailgate would drop, it would land right on the part of the trailer and it hit my tailgate. So yeah, this is other damages I want to repair. Oh, this is a perfect example. All this would be damaged by this point because there's a lot of rocks that these tires pick up. So all this at one point would have been damaged, but since it's wrapped, it hasn't. This is one part. Also why I want to change out the wrap, because I was supposed to get that replaced like a long time ago, but I never ordered it because we got super busy. And so hopefully it's not too damaged. But yeah, we'll see the difference between this and that. So let's get it started. That's Abel. He's very camera shy. Are we gonna get started, Abel? Are you really nervous to the camera? A little bit. So pretty much to take off the wrap, we have to use a heat gun, and that's what Abel's currently doing. Because a lot of people believe that you could just easily peel off wrap, like someone could literally prank you and take it off, which you can see it's gonna come off in pieces if he doesn't heat it up too well. And it makes the job a lot more easier if we heat up everything first. And especially we picked the coldest day here in our town. It's about 39 degrees. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than it should be. But other than that, using a heat gun or leaving it out in the sun, it makes the job a lot easier. Alright, we kind of have some of the wrap off. A lot of the spots where we tucked it in too well, we obviously can't get to it. We have to pretty much take it off. But this is a perfect opportunity to answer a lot of the questions I get asked by a lot of my clients or myths that are out there about vinyl wrap. So let's start off with the very first one. Is it expensive? Depending on who installs it, a wrap could range anywhere from $1,500 up to $10,000. I don't know how crazy they can get, but compare that to a paint job. A paint job will literally cost twice as much, and we'll go a little bit more into like what goes into a paint job compared to a vinyl wrap. So in my opinion, no, vinyl wrap is actually a little bit cheaper than paint, and I feel like it has more benefits. Question number 2, will it damage my paint? And as you can see, no, it does not damage your paint, especially if you have like this brand new paint, and my detailer obviously takes very good care of it, and it's not even washed yet, and you can see how like near of a finish it is. The only time I've ever seen wrap actually damage a paint is when the actual paint job under is done very bad and it's already chipping. So when you're trying to put on the wrap, obviously you have to move and adjust it, and because of the sticky side under, it will lift up the paint, but that's only because your paint on the bottom was already flaking or chipping. And so yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen it damage paint, but it should not damage your paint. Question number 3 that I usually get asked is how long does it take? It usually takes about, depending on the size of the vehicle, the complexity of the parts we have to take off, it can range anywhere from 3 days to 7 business days. So compare that to a paint job. A paint job can range anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, especially if you're gonna do the whole vehicle, because the whole vehicle has to be taken apart, sanded down, primered, and so it's a very longer process to when compared to getting a paint job. I believe this is number 4. So number 4, wrap is harder to maintain than your average paint. That is a complete lie. Just depends on the color you have, because obviously mine was satin, so it's not, you can't just use your average soap and wax and stuff, because then it throws off the satin finish. But wrap actually protects your paint. That's the reason I got in this low angle. Because of my wide tires, obviously this whole side would have been damaged with rocks and dirt, everything that hits up here, but luckily the wrap protected all this. So no, it's not harder to maintain a wrap compared to any paint job. The 5th and final thing, paint versus wrap. I have nothing against paint. That's why we have our own paint booth at the shop. But it all depends on the complexity and the long term that you're going to keep your paint or you're going to keep your wrap. For me, I could have easily wrapped this in black, but I opted out to paint this as well as other emblems in black, because I knew I always wanted to do this in black because they were chrome, and I kind of wanted to have a more stealthy look. For the wrap, I knew that obviously if I paint my whole truck, it's going to stay that color, and it's a lot more expensive. So with wrap, you could be easily switching it out every, like me, 6 months to a year, and you could just be changing up your Instagram. And if you want to stick with the color, obviously you have to stick with that color for the entirety of the vehicle. So in my opinion, wrap is more beneficial if you want to keep switching up things. I have nothing against paint. I believe paint looks absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. See you guys on the next one. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.